Hi guys. This is again about the pawns, analyzing pawns. I'm not a criminologist or psychologist. I'm trying to cut each recording to like 10 minutes, and that's why I had to cut the previous one. But this is the continuation of the previous one. Okay, so talking about pawns. Um, what I really noticed about the different groups of pawns, and there are some people who are genuinely bad. Um, so practically, each group of pawns I have discussed, the group of pawns I had discussed before, and I'm going to discuss uh, later also. um, include also a group of people which are bad people. They are infiltrated and they openly show how much they enjoy their part. Um, the good news is that they make a tiny number. It's saddening that they exist, but it's still tiny, and that's very good. So, this small group exists among all all the ponds and also in other spaces, I think. A question for scientists though. Uh, are some people wired to be bad? And if is it possible to change it? What if one of these kind of people is occupying a critical position in the society? Can we check the wiring pattern of a person's brain before they are trusted with an important capacity? I think this would really save our planet from being led by bad people, and this would be quite a breakthrough. Anyhow, now to the next group of pawns. A group of pawns which are threatened by the gang. These kind of people are actually nice people, and but for some reason they go along with the gang's agenda. Um, I don't know how. Anyways, um, I was a customer at a hairdresser shop in LinkedIn. I knew the hairdresser and we were friendly. So even after I moved to a barn, I continued to go to her for my hairdressing. Um, During my last visit, a member of Section 1 had parked in front of the shop. I could see because the shop had all glass doors and windows, and I could see the street very well. So this guy had parked right in front of the shop, leaned on his car, and did not take his eyes off the shop. When I left the shop, he was gone. What happened that day was the hairdresser was unusually uncomfortable. I could really feel that. We didn't have the chats as always, and uh, my hair was done unexpectedly badly, and after a few days, they started to fall. Uh, Anyways, this happened to two other hairdressers, but that was not the same as this category. That's different. Um, so um, there were few other occasions when I sensed unease from a person I knew. It feels like maybe like they're deciding between joining gangs' agenda for their benefit and their own integrity. Probably the values are conflicting with each other. I can understand because the gang's values cannot not be conflicting with integrity. Um, if they decided for their integrity, they would distance themselves from me as well. Uh, these people make a subcategory of another group, the bystanders. I think this term is known by many of us. Bystanders do not take sides. They do not help, and they are the majority of people. What holds them back? Not only in this case, the majority of people, I mean the bystanders, uh, make a really big part in our society in different places, in different situations. Another category of pawns are people who feel underappreciated. This feeling urges them to participate, to feel gratified, acknowledged. After all, they are finally included in a project. They are seen. In my opinion, their image of themselves is totally unfair because it's based on society's measuring tools, which are extremely far from perfect. These measuring tools build a distorted self-image of a person based, among others, on their social status. Many undeniably crucial jobs are at the end of the list of the so-called good jobs. Just imagine our cities without bean services, delivery services, mailing services, public transport. The list is way longer than what I indicated here. They deserve full recognition and definitely higher pay for what they do for our society and us. Now, the last category of pawns. This category is a dream come true for the gang. Apologies. I shared a home in Barn with CBL. She never smiled at me, fake or not fake. It was refreshing after being smiled at and stabbed a minute later. I had too often experienced until then. That house became the mini version of all of what I went through at work and elsewhere, but on a 24/7 based service for the gang. I used some eyeglasses with incorporated video capacities. I had got the tip from my friend, and based on his advice, I had also emailed local authority, local police about using them. I used them on the street, and I was practically recording the cars moving by. Some of them were only pawns, but some of them were major members of the gang. So it was important to take them as evidence. And I never did that um, hidden. I did that quite openly, and I also mentioned to my colleagues that, oh, I'm taking this because of the stalkers, so I'm sending it to my friend, he's going to investigate, and so on. Anyways, when I moved to Barn, suddenly my both glasses were damaged. They were not broken from outside, not visibly, but they would not switch on. And when I looked inside, the wiring was cut off. It was very clear. I used to lock the door to my room all the time. So, well, how it happened, um, well, I prefer not to judge. but I think it's clear. Um, I don't know if Sibyl was promised the compensations or not, and if the gang fulfilled those promises, or just left her drying after I moved out, because she would become useless to them. I think this category can be called voluntary pawns. I have decided to refrain from any analysis, even unprofessional analysis, because I haven't encountered any other similar situation to allow me to make an unbiased assessment based on common traits of those involved.